Reading with your kids.
Hey, so great to see you. Come on in. Hi, my name is Jedley, and this is the Reading with Your Kids podcast. We have a very special show for you today. Two authors whose books have been chosen to be Reading with Your Kids Certified Great Reads are with us today. First, we'll be welcoming back Nayera Salam. Her book, Friends of a Different Kind, was recently announced as a Reading with Your Kids Certified Great Read. We'll then welcome Peggy Race in to celebrate her Certified Great Read, Deputy Paws, and the Puppy Mill Cause. Hey, for all the authors that are listening out there, I wanted to share with you this great email that we received here at the Reading with Your Kids podcast from Dr. Linda Mubarak. She is a past guest and the author of Maxine's New Job. Here's the email. Dear Fatima and Jed, good news! Maxine's New Job has been nominated to receive the prestigious Henri Award at the 2018 Christian Literacy Awards for Outstanding Literacy Work in the Children's Book Division. I sincerely believe your certifying Maxine as a great read helped bring increased social media attention to the book. Thank you for the exposure and the great marketing. We are so happy for Dr. Linda Mubarak that her book, Reading with Your Kids Certified Great Read, Maxine's New Job, received this prestigious recognition. We would love to help your book receive that same kind of recognition. If you are interested in having your book considered for our Reading with Your Kids Certified Great Read program, please visit our website, readingwithyourkids.com. You can click on the contact button, send us a note, and we'll send all the information back to you, or you can go right to our Certified Great Read page on our website. It's fun, it's easy, and it is really an effective way to let the world know that your book stands out above all the rest. The Reading with the Kids Certified Great Read program. We're really excited to be welcoming back one of our friends and welcoming back a brand new Reading with Your Kids Certified Great Read author. She is the author of our Certified Great Read, Friends of a Different Kind. Please welcome back Nayera Salam. Nayera, how are you?
Oh, I am doing great. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thanks for being on the show, and congratulations on your book, Friends of a Different Kind, being named a Certified Great Read.
Yes, I'm delighted, and I would like to share it with you and tell you all about it.
Well, we can't wait, but first I just want to let you know what the Reading with Your Kids you've heard before in the show, the Reading with Your Kids Certified Great Read program. It's a wonderful program. We've assembled a panel of evaluators. They're educators, their parents, their kids, and if they believe that a book is worthy of 4 or 5 out of 5 stars, it becomes a certified great read. And Friends of a Different Kind was an absolute 5-star book. Our panel absolutely loved it. They one of the things that really stood out was that one of the evaluators said that from the very beginning, this book tugged at my heartstrings. And I think as an author, that's a wonderful thing to hear.
Yes, I'm delighted to hear that. That people understand and open their hearts to diversity and acceptance and befriend people who are not like them, just like Chocolate Chum did. He befriended other dogs, but also other animals like frogs, a gnome, a mouse, a cat, an owl, and yep, I'm glad to hear that.
Well, I am. It's a wonderful, wonderful story, and it's a wonderful lesson, and I think it's a very, very important lesson now more than ever, because I think it's vital that our kids understand that every single human being is a human being and can be our friends.
Absolutely. And it starts at a very early age. So our kids in different ages would appreciate that as they join Chocolate Chum and meet his new friends and get to know them and see how different they are. However, how they can be friends, how they can do things together and enjoy the games and the activities. And the book also has different activities at the end. So it's interactive, and it keeps the child informed and involved and enjoying the story.
Yeah. Now, this is a great lesson for everybody. In fact, I know a lot of adults who could really use this lesson, but who did you write this book for? What age group?
Well, it's designed for kids between the ages of 3 and 7. And they could really read it at their own pace and get out of it as much as they can. The illustrations are wonderful, so kids love that, even as young as the age of 3. There are activities like word search and crossword puzzle that could be used by older children, but there's also a coloring page that is suitable for kids of all ages. So if you have 2 kids in the family, one is 7 and one is 3, they could both enjoy the books, and the 7-year-old, would work on the crossword puzzle and the word search and the coloring page, and the younger kids would enjoy the story and the illustrations, and read it together and enjoy it with his older siblings.
As you're talking about that, we absolutely, of course, on the Reading with Your Kids podcast, we're always encouraging families to read together and reminding parents how important it is for them to read with their kids and how much their kids love having parents read to them and having a loving adult read to them. But there's also something very powerful about an older sibling reading to a younger sibling. And I think that in those cases, there's the message really hits home. If your 7 or 8-year-old child can read the story of Friends of a Different Kind and really buy into that message, then it's really going to hit home with the younger kids, I think.
Absolutely. And he would look forward, to bonding with other kids and reading together with the parents, with an older child. Yeah, that is very important. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Now, this is Nayera. This is your second certified great read. You were here with us before talking about Woodland Fairies helping and having fun, and that was named a Reading with Your Kids certified great read. What a role you're on! Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that, and I'm very happy to hear that the book that you like the book. And I will continue to write books for kids and have them illustrated and have a message a positive message in each book, and words that kind of rhyme and go together, that create images as the child reads the story or as he listens to the story being read to him. So, I'm not going to stop there. There will be more books to come.
That's wonderful. Now, what is it? I think it's really wonderful that these messages of friendship, of helping each other, they're very, very important to you. Where does that desire to write stories that share this message with kids? Where does that desire come from?
Well, I worked with people from different countries, different walks of life, and I've traveled, so I see similarities in people, and I see the need for people to accept each other, and I believe it starts at a very early age. So that's what really motivated me to write this story. And it doesn't take me long. Once I decide on the topic and the story, I just keep writing it. And words come to me, but then I keep changing it until everything sounds just right. Then I know that the story is it. And once I read it and I read it again, and I just get the feeling that I have achieved what I wanted to achieve.
It's very important, and I love that you're coming, this is such a personal thing for you, that you come from experiences working with different people from around the world and different cultures. And
Exactly. And they're all different people, whether they're children or they're adults and, work in daycare centers and seeing children that are all different and how they can play together, mix together, and just accept each other. So if Chocolate Chunk can do it, all the other kids can do it as well.
Where do you think the divides between people come from? What do you think? Where does that first kind of fear of of people who are different come from? Do you think?
Yeah, it's just not knowing what they really are like. They may look different. They may have a different name. They may be wearing different clothes, and so you don't really get to know them. You stay away from them. But once you know them, then it's very enriching because you get to learn from them and appreciate them and accept them. Look at all the fun that my little dog, Chocolate Chum, did because he befriended frogs and people, he befriended other animals that are different. So he played doggy-froggy games all day long. And, it didn't have to be dogs just like him. So he learned from them and he listened to the stories of the owls. So he becomes more involved and happier and more interesting and more accepting. And he has a good life.
You really are right. Our lives become so much richer when we meet folks from other cultures and we learn about different cultures. I met my wife 31 years ago, and we came from very different. On the outside, we came from very different cultures, and we have different foods and different traditions. As we got to know each other, we discovered that the core values, the values that we felt so strongly about, so dear, were absolutely the same, and absolutely in line with each other. And the fact that we had these other traditions and foods and things like that, I mean, it just opened up a whole new world for me.
Absolutely. So just imagine if Chocolate Chum did not have the chance to play with the frogs. He wouldn't have known anything about frogs, that you could be friends with a frog. If he didn't have a friend, the cat as his friend, he wouldn't. I've never known anything about the cat, that you could be friends with a cat. So Chocolate Chum's life has really been enriched. That's why he calls himself, I am the happiest dog in the neighborhood. And he repeats it, I can say it without hesitation. And he says his doggy proclamation that he is the luckiest dog in the neighborhood. And that's because he had the opportunity to meet and befriend other animals that aren't dogs like him. So,
we know that our Reading with Your Kids Certified Great Read panel felt that it was a great, heart-warming, heart-tugging, a heartstring-tugging book. What are some of the other reactions you get from folks who have read the book?
Well, I got it from children and from their parents, and they said, my child really liked this book, because there are kids in his class from different nationalities, kids that look different, they have different names, different clothes, different habits, and that book really helped him befriend other people. And others said that their child felt great, because he realized that he may look a little bit different from other people in the group, but it doesn't mean that he cannot be their friend. So people have been reacting very positively to Chocolate Chum and his friends. And they read it over and over again, meeting the different friends and enjoying the illustrations and doing the activities. So, there's nothing like spending time reading to a child and getting a positive message to him or to her that way.
Mm-hmm. How does it feel as, when I'm performing, people ask me what it's like to get up on stage and perform, and I love it. It's just, it's been something that's brought me joy for many, many decades. But I'm getting the reaction right there. I'm up on stage. I do a magic trick. I see the smile just, appear right in front of my eyes. I hear the laughter. Being an author is very different. It's, you're writing, and as you were sharing with us earlier, you write the initial story, and then you review it, and you edit it, and you rewrite it, and then when it goes out into the world, you're not there most of the time when a family is reading this together. What's that kind of joy?
And you see the children sitting there, looking forward to what happened and really getting involved in the story. That's the exciting part of it, to see the reaction and how they get involved in the story, and they ask questions, and they point at the pictures, and they talk about them.
Yeah. And writing children's book, is this something that you always dreamed of doing?
Yes. It was always in the back of my mind, and I like words, and I like imagery, and I like the way the sentence sounds. I like a beautiful sentence that creates an image, that has a nice sound, and kids like that. They may see a spicy word here and there, but they want to know what the word means, and they make it part of their vocabulary, and they repeat it, and they're proud of it.
And that's one of the fun things I know when my kids were much younger. It was introducing them to new words, and kids get a lot of joy out of discovering new words and learning how to use them.
Yeah. They like new words. They like easy words, and they also like words that are a little bit longer, and they repeat them, and they make them part of their everyday vocabulary, and they share it with their friends, and they repeat it. So that makes me feel good.
Yeah. Now we've mentioned that both your brand new book, Friends of a Different Kind, and also Woodland Fairies, Helping and Having Fun, were both Reading with Your Kids certified great reads. You also have written a number of other books. Can you tell us a little bit about some of those other books?
Well, yeah, I wrote other books. I developed educational programs, and I wrote some books for adults as well. They are in French, though. Funny stories for people who want to learn French as a second language, because I grew up speaking Arabic, French, and English. So you may notice in some of my books, like some of the names may have a French touch to them. So so my other books are more on the educational side, as I teach French for fun to adults, and it consists of funny dialogues that play on words. And the idea is to make people enjoy what they listen to. But there will be many other kids' books to come. I'm looking forward to it and sharing them with you.
Yes, well, we can't wait. In the meantime, you have a wonderful website where folks can learn about Friends of a Different Kind and all of your different books. Let us know the website address, please.
Okay, it's www.kidsbooksbynayera.com. Kids Books, Kids, Kids Books by Nayera.
Kidsbooksbynayera.com. And you can go there and learn all about Friends of a Different Kind and all of the wonderful books that Nayera has created, and be the first to find out whatever new book is coming down the road.
I will let you know. The next one is probably going to be about a horse named Horace, and it's about inner beauty comes from within. So that is in the works, and it should be published within the next few months, I hope. But I will let you know about it as soon as it's published.
Well, we can't wait to meet Horace. Today we've been talking to the author of our latest Reading with Your Kids Certified Great Read, Friends of a Different Kind, written by Nayera Salam. Nayera, thank you so much for being on the show.
Oh, thank you for all your support, and I'm looking forward to talking to you again soon in the future.
In just a moment, Peggy Race will be here to tell us about her certified great read, Deputy Paws and the Puppy Mill Cause. But before she joins us, I wanted to remind you that we're looking for a few great schools to host our all-new in-school experience, Reading with Your Kids Live. We're looking to celebrate our shared love of reading and learning with storytelling, magic, and lots of totally interactive fun. We may even feature some of your students on a future episode of the podcast. You can check it all out today by going to readingwithyourkids.com/live. Join us right now from Whitewater in Wisconsin. She is the author of one of our Reading with Your Kids certified great reads. Please welcome to the show the author of Deputy Paws and the Puppy Mill Cause, Peggy Race. Peggy, how are you?
Oh, I'm wonderful this evening. Thank you.
Thanks very much for being on the show, and congratulations for Deputy Paws becoming a certified great read.
Thank you.
As we've said before in the podcast, we have a panel of evaluators there, parents, teachers, and kids. And if that panel believes that a book is worthy of 4 or 5 out of 5 stars, it becomes a certified great read. And our panel absolutely loved Deputy Paws and the Puppy Mill Cause. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the book?
All right. So Deputy Paws and the Puppy Mill Cause it was inspired by my rescue dog, Deputy. He came from a puppy mill. Mm-hmm. I volunteer with an organization that educates about puppy mills. And after I adopted him and helping educate others, I realized, I believe that education is so important for the younger generation, mm-hmm. so that they grow up, with that empathy and compassion towards animals. And so the book is written in Deputy's voice. He is the dog that's talking about where he came from, a little bit about puppy mills, where he came from, who rescued him, and then ways that kids and their parents can help make sure that they're not getting a dog from a puppy mill.
Can you tell us a little bit about what exactly a puppy mill is and why we don't want to be getting our pets, or especially our dogs, from puppy mills?
All right. So a puppy mill is it's a mass breeding facility where the breeders put the profits over the welfare of the animal. Mm-hmm. So oftentimes they don't get the vet care. They may not get the nutrition. They certainly don't get the exercise, socialization that we would want our animals to have.
Mm-hmm. How can we, as a family, as consumers, some family that wants to bring a pet into our home, how can we be sure that if we're buying a pet, that we're not buying it from a puppy mill?
Right. So what we know is probably 99% of animals that are sold in pet stores come from puppy mills. There's a lot of great rescues out there, a lot of, shelters, breed rescues. If someone's looking for a certain particular breed of dog, we'd like to see them go to a shelter or a rescue. But, if they're intent on going to a breeder, we want to make sure that you're doing your homework. You should be going to see where the puppy was born, where the parents live, see the conditions. If a breeder wants to meet you in a neutral location, that's usually a sign that there's something they don't want you to see. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You'd want to avoid that.
How was it? So it was just the experience of rescuing your dog that got you inspired to be out there and advocating for pets?
No, it's actually that I read a book about puppy mills, was inspired to become involved with an organization, And from there, I just felt if I'm going to educate others, I wanted some hands-on experience with puppy mill dogs. So I actually took a trip out to Colorado to the National Mill Dog Rescue. They rescued thousands of dogs from puppy mills. And the week that I was out there, Deputy happened to be rescued from a puppy mill in Kansas. And he caught my eye, and I ended up bringing him home with me. I had no intentions on adopting another dog. I had 2 other dogs, but it was something about him. And once he came home for me, with me, I guess I got inspired to want to be able to share a story and try and, educate the younger generation.
Mm-hmm. One of the things I love to do in my educational magic shows is ask kids what they're thankful for. And so often kids will say that they're thankful for their pets. I believe that having a pet in a home is beneficial for so many different reasons. What kind of benefits do you think a family gets from adopting a dog from a shelter?
Oh, I think for kids, it's a great way for them to learn responsibility, having, that responsibility of taking care of a dog, taking it, feeding it, taking it for walks. There's that socialization. There's nothing like coming home and having your dogs come greet you with their tail wagging, and, it's just a good feeling. And you feel, I personally feel good knowing that I'm giving an animal a home that, if they're coming from a shelter, I don't know what, we don't know why they were given up or why they ended there. But it's a good feeling to know that you're helping an animal that's less fortunate. Absolutely.
Yes. One of the things I say to kids in my shows is when they say, that they, they're thankful for their dogs. And, I always make a comment that I think having a pet, whether it's a dog or a cat or a hamster, it's a great way for not only kids, but for everyone to learn how to love something other than themselves.
Oh, very true. Yep.
Yeah.
You take the focus off yourself, and yes.
Well, you'll be happy to know we have my little shelter dog, Augie the Wonder Dog, is here in the studio with me, as he is for 95% of the podcast, and he only makes noise maybe once or twice, and he's awesome. But adopting a shelter dog, it's a little different because, in the case of Augie, he came from, we weren't sure where he came from, but we do know that wherever he was before he ended up in the shelter wasn't a good spot. He was, it was pretty obvious to us that somebody was kind of mean to him and skittish, and he wasn't very healthy. And right now he's blind in one eye, but it was very, very worth it because he's become part of the family and a wonderful part of the family. A little weird. He's a beagle, and beagles are their own creatures, and they're different. And I had never had a beagle before. I didn't realize it wasn't quite a dog, but we're very, very happy that he came into our lives.
Yes, they all have their own unique personality.
They certainly do. What kind of reaction have you had when you've gone out and shared Deputy Paws and the Puppy Mill cause with kids?
It's been very positive. I try and do an activity. We kind of, one of the pages in the book, Deputy is in the Freedom Garden, and he has the tools to help, teach kids how they can be a voice to help dogs. Mm-hmm. And so one of the things I have is I have a 4-foot cutout of Deputy Paws in the Freedom Garden. And we have the kids plant their flowers. They all get little flowers, and they, have their pictures of food and water and the types of things that dogs need. And so they kind of plant their own they get their own little seeds and plant their flowers in the flower garden. And they seem to enjoy that.
I bet they do. I bet they do. And I'm sure that they want to tell you all about their dogs and their pets.
Yes, they do. Yes, everyone, yeah. Yep, that is very true. They, or maybe they don't have one, but, some other family member or a friend does. So they all have their own little stories to share.
Now, you were saying that when you went out to investigate the puppy mill in Kansas, you had no real intention of adopting the dog, and it turns out that Deputy's become a great part of your family. Did you know when you met Deputy that you were going to write a book about him?
No idea. No, I had no idea.
And now that you've become a published author, is this something that you love and something that you're going to continue to do and bring new books into the world?
So I would like to do some more children's books. At the moment, I started a couple years ago working on a memoir.
Uh-huh.
And that is based on my rescue dog at the Hurricane Katrina rescue. So I'm in the middle of working on my memoir, and then I got Deputy, and this idea came into my mind, so I kind of put that aside for a little bit, worked on the children's book, and got that published, and I'm hoping to have my memoir done this year, and then I would like to then have some more Deputy Paws books. I'm trying to figure out what that's going to be, but Deputy will be in the book.
Excellent, excellent. Now that's fascinating. You rescued a dog from Hurricane Katrina?
I did. She is 15 and a half years old. I am her sixth family. I've done a lot of research on her. I adopted her from Best Friend Animal Society out in Kanab, Utah. There used to be a program called Dogtown. Mm-hmm. It was filmed by the National Geographic Channel. And, I saw that and I decided I wanted to check it out because people go out there and volunteer. And so I went out there, volunteered, fell in love with it, went back a year later doing a 2-week internship in Dogtown. Desiree ended up being my project dog, and needless to say, I adopted her.
That's wonderful.
And I did a lot of research. I ended up finding her original owner from Katrina, and we didn't meet. We did talk on the phone at the time of the hurricane. She was a 14-year-old girl.
Wow.
Desiree had been a stray and was born outside their home, and the girl had taken her in, and when the hurricane hit, family packed up and let the dogs go. So.
Yeah, what a difficult situation that was. You have to make really difficult choices sometimes.
And they didn't have good, I think things have changed since Katrina.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was hard at that time for people to take their animals with, and I know the laws have changed since.
Well, that's really wonderful. If folks want to learn more about puppy mills and adopting a dog and deciding whether or not that if adopting a dog is right for them and what type of dog. Like I said, we adopted Augie. I had Saint Bernards, we had Border Collies, we had German Shepherds in our life as I was growing up. They were very comfortable for me. A beagle was a completely different species, and we didn't really know what to expect. Fortunately, we didn't have young kids, and my wife and I are pretty flexible, and we were able to deal with it. But picking the right breed for your family situation is important. So, are there resources? Are there places where families can go to get that kind of information?
I'm sure if they went to their local shelter, I'm sure the library has information. Of course, I Google everything online. So, yeah.
Now, where can folks go to find out more about you and about Deputy Paw?
All right. So I have a website. It's peggyrace.com. So my book is on there. Book is on sale. It's on Amazon. You can also go through the website. There's a link to Amazon on there.
Yep. Excellent. So, and you can also see pictures of Deputy.
Yes.
On the website, yeah.
You'll see some pictures of Deputy on the website, the real Deputy versus the book.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we want to encourage everybody to check out Deputy Paws and the Puppy Mill Cause. It is a Reading with Your Kids certified great read, and it's a really wonderful book. Our panel has certified it as a great read. We think that you will love it, and we've had a great time speaking to the author tonight, Peggy Race. Peggy, thank you so much for being on the show.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Please be sure to join us for the next edition of the Reading with Your Kids podcast. Our guest will be Yevgenia Neighborg. She is the author of Anya's Secret Society. Hey, we want to thank our guests today, our certified great read authors, Nayera Salam. We also want to thank Peggy Race. I can't forget to thank my producer, Fatima Khan. Fatima is so amazing, and she is the person who coordinates our certified great read program, and she does an incredible job at it. I also want to thank my beautiful wife for all the love and support she provides me with. And most of all, I want to thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. And as always, thank you so much for taking the time to make the world a better place by reading with your kids. I'll be looking for you in the next edition of the Reading with Your Kids podcast.